Hello, and we are back for another Q&A. So, Lisa, here's your question for today.
Okay.
And it has to do with your personal experience of what happens to you personally and to the people around you when you are better taking better care of yourself, whatever that formula might be.
Oh yeah. Well, um, first of all, it's a rough road in our culture when your child is struggling and you're either on a wait list for a diagnosis or you have a diagnosis or whatever. It's a we don't do a really great job of supporting families around the
Yes.
stressors that can come that are unexpected. We anyway. There's another whole thing about that, but um, I guess the journey that I was on was that it took a really long time for me to figure out that nobody was coming. You know what I mean? Like it was it was my responsibility to do better for myself because when I started to understand really the science of co-regulation, I knew that my kid was co-regulating with a person who wasn't dealing with their own stress. And that I needed to take responsibility for that. I needed to step into my own wellness and to understand that when I'm doing better, everybody is doing better. And, that means for me, on the other end of this is that there are certain things in my life that are non-negotiables for me.
Yeah.
Exercise is non-negotiable. It has to happen. Um, Sleep is non-negotiable. I have to sleep. And then there's other things that I can play around with, like, am I drinking enough water? Am I, doing my stretches? Am I, actively participating in my own wellness? Because it trickles down, right? It finds a place to go, and our wellness travels down into the nervous system of our children, or our unwellness travels down into the nervous system of our children. And
Yeah.
so when we start taking care of ourselves, there are these things that will happen in the world of our children will just start to feel easier. And plus, we have to model this for our children.
Yeah.
We have to model mental health hygiene for our children. So when I'm exercising and I'm drinking water and I'm taking my supplements and I'm doing my conscious self like processing and saying, you have to do this for yourself. Personally, me, I have to tick it off every day.
Yeah.
I
You
have to.
also do a really good job with your nutrition, as I would like to say.
Yeah, I think I do a pretty good job with my
You do a
nutrition.
really good job with your nutrition. And it's what I'm hearing you say is sort of a reflection back from all the training that we've done at the Merit Center with Stuart Shanker's team around you're taking some of the basics around your own self-regulation, because I hear you talking about the biological domain here, right? Sleep,
Yeah.
nutrition, exercise, and and you're you're just kind of really going in there and making sure that that happens for you because I'm just going to ask you, like, do you notice that between a stressor and your response to it, when you're taking good care of yourself, you have just like a little bit
Oh,
more space?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Totally. It's a gift, right? It makes the
yeah,
pause longer, all that kind
yeah,
of stuff. Now, what I do for my self-care might be a nightmare for another person.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
one of
exactly.
the things that I have found that has been very, very beneficial to me is singing lessons. Now, some people will go
Well,
like, what is
yeah.
that about? Why, how did
Mm-mm.
that work its way into your world? And why is it such a good thing? But there's a whole neurobiological thing that happens. It's a great connection time with another person. I'm learning a new skill. I'm never singing in front of anybody else, but it's a
And there's a
very,
lot of breath work, a lot of controlled breath work goes along with
yeah,
singing. Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
it's a somatic experience, right? Like it's a body experience to be able to, be connected to something that's different. So what's good for one person is not always good for another person. But I guess the point of it is if you look at my life, um I'm homeschooling an autistic child. I'm a single parent. I don't have a lot of time, but you have to find time. Like you absolutely have to cultivate an experience for you to find time to do this stuff that's for yourself because it is a non-negotiable in order to be doing well for ourselves so that we can take care of the people around us. It's a
Yeah,
missing link in the neurodiverse community. It's in the special needs parenting world. It is the
yeah.
missing part of information that's not given to us.
And some of the world experts would, uh, which I put you in that category of, would agree with you. Like Mona Delhook's new book has a full chapter on parental self care, and she quotes some science about like when one person in a community starts taking better care of themselves. It has to be one person. It ripples out into a family. It ripples out into a community. It ripples out. It ripples out everywhere, and so it's not always easy. It's not always easy. And
Yeah. And unfortunately for us in the work that we do, this whole topic of parental self-care gets sort of tacked on at the end and
yeah,
says, well, and beyond all that stuff you're doing now, do this. Like it doesn't, it needs to be weaved through
indeed, true.
everything that
Yes,
we do in a bit more conscious way, because even though we still know this stuff, we still just tack it on at the end, because there's
yeah,
still so much other stuff to do. But from my perspective, from where I sit, I could have known every single thing about the human brain, about neurodiversity, about co-regulation. It's all academic
yeah.
until you start to practice this
Practice
for
it
yourself.
yourself. Yes, yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing, and I think that sometimes we're searching for some evidence that what we're doing is working, or out, and we're always looking outside of us. When the first thing that we need to do is sort of the internal journey about, well, what's actually working for me, and what's not. And once we get a little peppering of doing the thing that filled up our hearts, then things can shift.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the last thing I should say about it because I could talk about it forever.
Yeah, it's a big
Um,
topic.
Peace is possible.
Peace
Like
is possible.
peace in here is possible. Peace in your house is possible. And I think we've been sort of given this really sort of, I guess, harmful narrative that, oh, I was never going to get any better. So I was going to be like this, and, all of that kind of stuff. Or,
Yeah.
adolescence is hard and your life is going to be hell with kids in your house, like all of that kind of stuff. Like it's a really harmful narrative. But if you're not an active participant in it, it's not going to get any better. No one's coming to
No,
save you.
and I like the scientific, because I'm a bit of a science nerd. I like the whole idea of thinking about a family like an ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And so when one thing shifts, another thing shifts, and that's just a law of nature.
Yep. Peace is possible, but it doesn't happen by accident. You can't wait. It's not coming.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a fantastic answer. Thank you
Thank,
for that.
thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
seen.
You feel seen? Well, you actually could write a book about this. It would be a bestseller
Yeah, one day.
one day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.